So I'm making this very quick video. There's basically no counterplay to client, right, in League of Legends. So if you get marked for loser's queue, you just lose, and that's it. So I'm just saying that, there's no champion, there is no position, it's not jungle, it's not support. You cannot escape the loser's queue. Eventually, the system, if you win too many games, it will start to push you down, right? So, I mean, this guy, he's extremely good player. It's safe to say, potentially could be the best Udyr in the world. He's the best Challenger mode 1-on-1 player, this guy. I played against him, a very good player, right? Very good. The best I played against is this guy, right? Shadow IQ. So, I've seen him carry a lot of games, right? But the more he wins, the shittier his teammates are. I mean, I watch his channel, right? I'm actually a mod on his channel. So, now the game started off well. This is his 4th loss in a row. I think it's like 4th loss in a row, right? So the game starts well. I think they get 2-0 in the beginning, I think, right? Something like this. Yeah. They get first blood, the bot lane. And then from there, it's pretty much standard loser's queue, where every 2 minutes you hear an ally has been slain, enemy double kill. You see every 2 minutes now there's 6 deaths on his team, 7 deaths, it's gonna be 8 deaths very soon, right? Yeah, so 7 minutes, his team already died 11 times. So, I'm just saying that, I understand there are a lot of people who are like, how do I win in League of Legends? They're not really asking, how do I win in League of Legends? They're asking, how do I carry a loser's queue game where everyone on your team is 0-4, except for you? And unfortunately, I have some bad news for you, is that there is no way to do it. If there was a way to do it, Faker would have 98% win rate, right? But unfortunately, the way the game is designed, you cannot do it. Do you understand? So I'm talking to you because I know you're gonna be going after the next loser's queue game. You're gonna go online, start doing research, and thinking maybe I should become a Jax top lane main. And I'm telling you right now, you're wasting your time. Because if it was possible, the top League of Legends professional players would all have 98% win rate, or something close to 100. But because they don't, and they have 52, you cannot do it. Because, unfortunately, let me tell you the reality of the situation, is that highly unlikely that you will ever be as good as Faker, right? Or Dopa. Now, if these guys are the greatest of all time, and they have 52% win rate, you will not be able to go higher than they do. Do you understand? Now, play all you like, play Master Yi jungle, play Nasus top, play Shen top, try Darius top, try Tryndamere mid, try Vayne bot lane, Udyr jungle, it makes no difference. Zac jungle, Kayn, Viego, right? It makes no difference, right? Unless your team has some form of contribution, you will not be able to carry. Does that make sense? I already explained that in one of my videos where I showed why you cannot 1v5. I think I still have a drawing of it. Let me just see. I should still have a drawing. Yeah, I still have the drawing. Yeah, there you go. That's the video I made, right? You have to remember, the design of the game disallows it. Do you understand? The design of the game prevents you from doing that. I spoke about it for multiple times. First of all, you cannot dodge the damage, right? In many games, like Counter-Strike, I don't know, shooting games, you can dodge the damage. If you're good enough, you can position yourself, your character in such a way where you can dodge the damage. Now, in old games, Unreal Tournament, you can really move really well. But nowadays, the game, they introduced this thing where if you get hit, your character slows down. Valorant is a good example of that. It becomes very difficult for you to dodge the damage because now you're twice as slow. Does that make sense? Now it becomes very easy to hit you. Now, game companies have figured out that they don't want solo carries because solo carries quit the game too quickly. Like, think about this guy, right? He is rank 1, number 1 in challenger mode, and he was making good bit of money playing one-on-one, but he doesn't want to play it anymore because it's not challenging. Does that make sense? So, companies are trying to prevent people from quitting by creating engagement optimized matchmaking, and they design games in such a way where you do not have control over the outcome too much. You do have some control, right? Don't get me wrong. In League of Legends, if you're a good player, you're going to climb over 22,000 games, you're going to get your challenger, 3,000, 4,000 games. Because you are consistent, you don't int, you don't feed, right? You understand matchups, you will climb. You will climb. Over 3,000 games, right? But you will never be able to go into a game with 100% confidence and say, you know what, today I'm going to win every single game. So the game design stops you from doing that. So I'm just saying that, don't waste your time in trying to figure out how to beat the system because it's impossible. Another thing is I realized that there are a lot of kids who play League of Legends, including who watch my content, right? And they are like 18 years old, 22 years old. Because I look at myself when I was 22 years old, and if somebody was to tell me that something is impossible, I would say, no, that guy is a total loser. He understands the word impossible, right? Now I am 34, and I'll tell you the reality. In real world, there are things that you simply cannot do, right? You cannot, if you're white, right? If you're a white guy, you cannot run as fast as Usain Bolt, right? Because you genetically simply do not possess the necessary muscle fibers to be able to run that fast, right? Your skeleton, your bone structure is in such a way where you simply cannot run as fast. Do you understand? It's like trying to compare, let's say, greyhound dog, right? Do you see like the structure of the dog? Like, look, you see the structure of the dog? Like what are the fastest animals in the world? Let's look at cheetah. I think cheetah is one of the fastest, right? Now, cheetah runs faster than greyhound. But look, you see, she has extremely long body. Very, very long body. Very long limbs, right? Her body is structured, like everything about her is structured in such a way where she can run very, very fast. Does that make sense? It's specifically, and if you look at greyhounds, they have very similar bone structure, plus the muscle fibers. Do you see they're just designed for fast running? Do you know what I mean? And let's take for example, world's strongest men, they are the opposite. They have a lot of slow twitch muscles, right? So look at their bone structure. World's strongest man. Well, let's look at this guy, right? Look. Do you see, like, he will have very large bones? Very, like... He's gonna be huge, right? He's gonna be, like these guys here. You see? They're gonna be, like, big. They're not gonna be skinny and fast. They're gonna be huge. They're like tanks. Does that make sense? They have a lot of, like, muscle fibers. They have different muscle fibers. Now, if we look at Usain Bolt, I think that's his name, right? Yeah, Usain Bolt. Let's look at just look at his body, right? Do you see, like, he's very, very skinny, right? That's probably over exaggeration of his body. Let's see. Yeah, you see he has, like, very long arms, very, like, small torso, and extremely long legs, right? Let's see. Whereas these guys, they have tiny arms, large bodies, and small legs. Do you understand, like, the difference? So their skeleton structure is a lot different to these guys. So they're like, you see, they're like, Usain Bolt is more like a greyhound. He has a specific body shape with specific muscle fibers that allows him to do that, right? Now, if you are like, I'm a wild male guy, right? So let's look at, let's just pick anybody. Let's just pick this guy, right? He is highly, let's take this guy, right? He's highly unlikely to be able to run as fast as Usain Bolt, right? Because it's just the way his muscle fibers, the bone structure is designed in such a way where he simply cannot do it. Now, he will get fast, but not Usain Bolt fast. Does that make sense? If you go Google world kind of records for, well, I'll Google it for you, right? World record for 100-meter. Well, let's take first 5. Okay, you'll see what I'm talking about, right? Okay. Okay. So top 10 have all specific skin color. Do you understand? Now, skin color is one thing. You also have to look at their body shapes. And if you look at their body shapes, you'll see that they have specific body shapes as well. It's typically very long legs, very small body, and very long arms. Right? I mean, look at this guy. I mean, I'm telling you straight away, he's gonna have, you see, small body, huge long legs, and huge long arms. Right? So what I'm saying is, if somebody tells you, can you be an Olympic gold medalist 100 meters dash, look at yourself in the mirror and ask the question, are you this? If not, is your body structured like this? What is your skin color? How many muscles? Who are your parents? Right? And if so, it's probably a waste of your time to even try. Does that make sense? Right? So that's what I'm saying is that, why am I bringing this up is because there are so many kids and they're like, oh, impossible. Because they're naive. I was naive as well. I remember myself, it was like, if you tell me that I thought that through hard work I can accomplish anything. Right? I thought, it's all about hard work. It's about putting in the hours, and if you put in the hours, you can beat Usain Bolt in 100-meter dash. And unfortunately, that's not the truth, right? Then another thing I thought, it's in 7 years you can max out your skill, and that's also not true, because Usain Bolt was probably running since he was like 5. So also there is age cutoff, right? For example, for gaming, 24 years. If you have 24 years, you're like grandpa already in gaming. Now, of course, there are people who are like still 27. They're still fresh. They can still do stuff. But on average, I'm talking about on average, 24 is probably the cutoff, right? So there are a lot of things that are just not possible, right? And one of them is 100% win rate in League of Legends. It's just not possible. Beating Tryndamere in one-on-one as Katarina is impossible, right? Beating Udyr in a one-on-one full game in a RAM is impossible, because it's just, the game is designed in such a way you cannot do it, right? If you're a white person, right, who is structured like a world's strongest man, where you have extremely large bones, right, very short legs and arms, beating Usain Bolt, or a person who is structured, whose body is structured like this, is not possible for you, right, if you are this guy. Right, so if you find yourself, you look in the mirror and you see this dude with massive bones and you can literally lift up a car, I would not recommend you to try to set a new record for 100 meters. Go and set a new record for the most weight lifted. Does that make sense? But you see, like, those guys, their bones are huge. Right? They're just huge. Now, vice versa is true. If you ask Usain Bolt and be like, hey, Mr. Usain Bolt, go and lift a car, he won't be able to do it. Because why? Because his bones are just too small. And you have to understand that there is slow twitch muscles, there are fast twitch muscles, and there are in-between muscles, right? Slow twitch muscles can lift a lot of weight. Fast twitch muscles can move fast without the need of oxygen, right? They work on insulin. So this guy is almost purely fast twitch muscles, right? Whereas these guys are mostly purely slow twitch muscles. I don't really know how World's Strongest Man muscles work, right, honestly, but I'm assuming it's probably mostly slow twitch, right? Because you need a lot of oxygen to lift. Or I don't know. Honestly, I never researched into heavy lifting, like heavy weightlifting, but I know for sure that for running and for jumping really, really high, you need fast twitch muscles, because I'm an ex-basketball player, right? So I'm just saying that, stop wasting your time trying to win every single game in League of Legends, because it's not possible. It's just not possible. You cannot do it, alright? And because this guy is tilting, because he tilts a lot. Not like, he doesn't flame. I'm actually surprised that he doesn't flame, because most of super good players, they're flamers. But he doesn't flame, but he just goes on a tilt, and he takes breaks between games because he just needs to calm down. But you have to remember, this guy has 90% win rate in one-on-one. Do you know what I mean? So for him, playing game where he can only win 55% of the game, very, very difficult psychologically. So what I'm saying is, again, I'll repeat it again, stop wasting your time trying to change the champion, change the position. Now, it does make an impact. If you play in Twisted Fate, probably not a good idea. It's probably better to play Garen if you're beginner. It makes a big difference, right? but trying to win every single game, you just cannot do it. Alright? No counterplay to loser's queue. Alright, take care.